forgive myself for them. Okay, so you got to become that individual that embraces the journey, embraces the things that you feel like right now are not benefiting you. Those weaknesses are gonna one day become your strength. There was so many weaknesses I once had, right, that now became my strength. I was somebody that was very emotional, right? I used to react instead of respond. Now I'm a better responder than I am a reactor. Okay, before my weaknesses was communication. Now I'm a better communicator. Now I'm somebody that practices gratitude a lot more. Some of my weaknesses were spirituality, right? I wasn't really tapped in with my spirituality. Now that's one of my main strengths is my spirituality. So, right, you got to understand that those secrets that you have inside of you, they're not your weaknesses. Those are secrets that you have to forgive, and those are secrets that you have to embrace. All right. And also understand that you can always delegate your weaknesses. Okay, you see, I'm not the most organized individuals, but I hired, an incredible individual to help me organize myself, help me organize my life, help me organize my schedule, help me organize my business, and it's helped me so much. And guess what? As she did it, as she organized it, I learned from her, and now I'm more organized myself. All right. So this is very, very, very important. All right. Step up. All right. And understand that unless you tell yourself that you're going to get rid of these demons, you're going to get rid of all of these things that are going on inside of you, nothing will ever happen. You can't heal what you hide. You can't heal it. So stop hiding it. Talk to somebody that can give you guidance, and you will see that it will make a big difference. So that is the second lie we tell ourselves as leader is if people really knew. The third lie we tell ourselves as leaders is I deserve more credit. All right. Stop focusing on you and focus on the team. Okay. Focus on your family. Focus on the individuals around you. It's not about you. It's not about you. Get over yourself. All right. Because understand this, you gotta be at the feet of your organization, not at the head. All right. Let me repeat that. If you want to be successful in life, you want to be at the feet of your organization, not at the head of your organization. What does that mean? Right? You got to make sure that you're putting your people first. Okay, you got to make sure that you're down there in the trenches working with them. You're not at the top, at the head, leading it, trying to lead everybody and boss every people around and telling people what to do. No. You got to go where your people are. You got to be at the feet of your organization, not at the head of your organization. Okay, and stop looking for so much credit because I understand recognition. Babies cry for it and men die for it. Okay, but be the individual that recognizes your team because the more you recognize your squad, the more recognition will come your way. Don't look for recognition, look to recognize your people. Recognize your people for not only the big accomplishments, but for the small accomplishments, right? And recognize your people not only for small accomplishments, recognize them for who they are. Recognize them for their efforts. Recognize them for facing their challenges and never quitting. Recognize them for their characteristics and what they truly bring to the table. That's more important than any accomplishment that you can ever recognize anyone for, all right? Because that's what it's all about. What you give is what you receive. So if you're asking for more credit, give more credit. Give more credit to your leaders. Give more credit to your parents. Give more credit to your siblings. Give more so you can receive more. And that's something that a lot of people have a tendency of doing. They feel like they deserve more credit for what they've done and what they've accomplished, and you feel like you need to get recognized more. No. You need to give more of that. And because you gave more, now you're going to receive more. All right. So that's number three. The lie you tell yourself is I deserve more credit. All right. Number four, which is a big lie a lot of us tell ourselves, and this was one I had to deal with for a long time, was it's all on me. Okay. I wanted to do all the presentations. I wanted to do all the three-way calls. I wanted to do all the trainings. Why? Because I felt like no one else could do it like me. I just didn't feel like it wasn't possible for someone to duplicate what I did, but I understood that it was a lie I was telling myself. It's not all on me, right? This is where delegation has to play a big part in your life. You have to take the time to develop other leaders within your organization and within your teams and within your life to help you with the things that you're not good at, to help you, when you're on vacation with your family. Because guess what? If it's all on you, think about it like this: if you decide to go on vacation with your family for 2 weeks, your business is going to fall apart, because who's going to do the presentations? Who's going to do the trainings? Who's going to build the relationships? Who's going to make sure that everyone on your team is making profits? Who's going to do it if you do everything? So it's not all on you. You got to get rid of that lie. And that was one of the biggest lies I had to get rid of. You know why? Because what I noticed was that if my business, right, wasn't ran by me at all time, like if I wasn't there, if my hand wasn't there, then the business wouldn't run. The moment I took my hand off of my organization, it fell apart. So what I had to do was I had to find other leaders. I had to develop other leaders, okay? Build those relationships with them, teach them the skills, increase that belief in them, so that what? Guess what? They know that if I ever needed to take a step back, they can do the trainings. They can run the business. They can make sure that other people in the organization are running the way that it's supposed to run. So that's very, very important. And get rid of that lie. It's not all on you. It's on your team. And because your team wins, everybody wins. Remember, team, TEAM, stands for together, everyone achieves more. Team is everything. All right. So that's number 4, which is all on me. That lie we have to get rid of. And then the last and final lie that we tell ourselves as leaders is that things are always going to be this way. Things are always going to be this way. Trust me, guys, I can't tell you how many times, I told this lie to myself: man, this sucks. Things are always going to be this way. And that's emotional funks that we go into, because, not at all times in business is it going to be is it uphill, right? A lot of us, we want it to be always going up, 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 up. But sometimes we face a lot of times in the business where it's down, 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 down. And in this entrepreneurship journey, it's like a roller coaster. You could be up one day, down the next day. You could be up for a few weeks and then be down for a few weeks. We call it the seasons, right? There's times it's winter. The winters is when it's cold, it's tough. You can't seem to figure it out. You can't seem to enroll nobody. The business isn't growing, right? Then we have the springs. Okay, after winter comes spring. This is when you start to plant the seeds. This is when, things are starting to move around a little bit. You're starting to find new leaders, the whole stuff, right? The summer, what's the summer for? The summer is for growth. This is where the growth.
All right, guys, let's get this call started. Here we go. There we go. Let me see. Let me get the right lighting in here. Can everybody hear me, see me well, guys? Can I please get a 1 in the chat? Let me see if maybe I could get the lighting in the back fixed a little bit, guys. Give me 1 second, familia. Let me get this fixed right here for us. It's too much light right now. Give me 1 second.
Hey, no mete mucho por ahí, por allá.
All right, so I think we got it fixed. Let's hope for the best. I'm not in my office, as you guys can see. I'm at Mom's house. Sheesh. Well, we're gonna have to rock it that way, because this is the best thing we got right here, guys. So I hope that everybody can, bear with me. We are at Mom's house here in New York City. I'm only here for a couple of days before I fly out to Europe on Thursday, but we're here, and I'm excited to be on this call with all of you guys, because every time I come home, every time I get a chance to just even look behind me and just see where it all started, it makes me feel so grateful. Every time is always like a full circle moment. And I'm actually very grateful to be on this call with all of you guys. I pray that everybody is having a good morning. Make sure, guys, that we share this with a friend, share this with a family member. Go out there and share it with somebody, because I'm gonna go over a lot of stuff. Today, I named the call a 5-year journey, and the reason why I named it that is because every time I come home, I have my original journal here. I ain't gonna say it no more, my guy. Yo, I gotta come out to Grenada, bro. For real. I really do got to come out to Grenada with you. But I got my first journal ever here, the journal that I started back in 2019, and I was like, man, what do I talk about today? What do I share with the family about today? And I started to open up, my journals, and I was like, why don't I just go to the first ever journal that I ever, wrote in? And I started to look through it, and I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about what I can teach you guys today on this call. And, I want to share that with you guys here on this call, because I think, you guys could learn a lot from me, because a lot of people meet me now and they're like, wow, Nano, you made it, bro. You're living in Miami, you're traveling the world, you're able to do all these amazing things. But, people didn't meet the Nano that was in this living room right here, where I was running mornings with Nano back in 2019 from this exact same seat, when I was broke, when I didn't have much, when things really weren't going the way that I thought, they were going to go. And I was like, you know what, let me take people all the way back, right? I'm already here. Let me just take them back to those days where I was doing these calls from right in this seat right here, and let me guide them through it. So if you guys are ready to learn about this 5-year journey and a couple of the things that I really, really got from it, put some 5s in the chat box if you guys are ready to learn from my 5-year journey. The lighting actually looks better on IG than it does here on YouTube. It looks a little dark here on YouTube for some reason. Let me see if it's maybe my brightness. Now my brightness is solid. But yeah, guys, let me open it up. So this is my 5-year journal. This is my first ever journal, right? And look at how real it is, right? My first ever journal entry, look at what it was. It was an evaluation, okay? My first ever journal entry was an evaluation. And that's one of the first things I want to teach you guys about my 5-year journey. I know I've talked about this in the past, but I just want to mention it again real quick. Back in 2019, if we want to talk about the 5-year journey, I'm going to just give you guys a couple of points that really made a big difference in my life over the last 5 years, right? And I want to explain this to you guys, because I know sometimes I say these things, but a lot of people may not, find the value in it or even apply it. But I want you guys to understand, how powerful evaluations are, right? So the first thing I'm going to cover, about my 5-year journey is evaluation of yourself, right? I truly believe that we must do weekly evaluations on ourselves as individuals, okay? One of the things that I realized that, whatever you don't address, you tolerate. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that again. Whatever you don't address, you tolerate. So what do I mean by that? When you don't address the habits that you're doing wrong, okay, when you don't address, the bad programming, when you don't address the people around you that are not helping you benefit it, then you tolerate it, you allow it into your life. And what ends up happening is days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And what can end up happening for you is you could be following the wrong habits, you could be following all the wrong things for years and not help you grow because you're doing the wrong things, right? Like my sis said in the chat, I am royalty, right? What you don't track, you don't measure. Okay, you can't track what you don't measure. So every Sunday, while I was, working on developing myself, mind you guys, when the journey that I'm taking you guys back to is the journey of 2019. This journal entry was written on June 10th, 2019. Now, my evaluations were based off of 3 questions. Okay, it was, what did I do well? What didn't I do well? And what improvements I was going to make the following week. Okay, evaluations were big for me when I was first in my come up, when I was working on becoming that 6-figure earner, when I was working on moving out of my parents' house. This is what it started. And look, guys, I started this 2019. I didn't move out my parents' house till 2021. Okay, so this was a 2-year process. This wasn't like, I did it for 1 year and then it took off. Well, what I want to do is on this call, maybe what I teach you guys today, maybe it doesn't take you 2 years to get to where you want to go to. The purpose of me teaching you this now, all right, is for you to do it in the next 6 to 12 months. Because what if by next summer you're living in a new apartment, you're living in a new city, you're making 6 figures, you're traveling the world, you're able to provide more for your family, right? Who would like that to happen for them in the next 6 to 12 months, right? Put a 5 in the chat box if you want that to happen to you in the next 6 to 12 months. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys here today, is so that you can see what is possible for all of you guys here. So number one is evaluations. Ask yourself every Sunday, make it a habit. Every Sunday, you're gonna sit down for 15 minutes. You're gonna sit down for 10 to 15 minutes and you're gonna evaluate yourself as a person. Yo, Sophia, what did you do well this week? Yo, Kevin, what didn't you do well this week? Yo, Claudia, what improvements are we going to make this next upcoming week? Evaluation Sundays. All right. Evaluation Sundays. So, first question is, what did I do well? Second question is, what didn't I do well? And then the third question is, what improvements I'm going to make. This is how I started, and this is what helped me out a lot. Now, listen to my evaluation for the week of June 10th to June 17th. What did Nano do well during this week? My morning routine was solid. I did it 5 out of 7 days, I wrote. Ideas were flowing. I went to the gym 3 times. I finished reading the book Think and Grow Rich. That's good to know. I connected with a lot of people on my team. I meditated 5 out of 7 days. I wrote in my planner 6 out of 7 days. And I am in the rewiring process. Okay. That's what I wrote down in terms of, this is my first time ever evaluating myself. So, you know, this is what I wrote. Right now, what could I have done better? What didn't I do well? Basically, I could have connected with more people on social media. I could have jumped on more trainings. I could have built more relationships with people in my business. I could have stayed more hydrated. I could have stayed more consistent during the weekend. I could have provided more. I could have provided more value within my Telegram chat. I could have spent less time on my phone. I could have chose healthier food options, and I could have managed my time better. So this is Nano as, you know, a broke, what age am I? 4 years ago, 26-year-old, 25-year-old, living at my parents' house. Okay. And look at all the things that I'm trying to figure out that I could have done better. Right? I could have connected with more people. I could have jumped on more trainings. I could have built more relationships. I could have stayed more hydrated. I could have focused more on my consistency during the weekends. I could have spent less time on my phone. I could have chose healthier food options. I could have managed my money a lot better, right? So these are things that I'm paying attention to. And a lot of my improvements now are based off of what I could have done better, right? So I'm going to manage my money better. I'm going to be more consistent on the weekends. I'm going to choose healthier food options. I'm going to provide more value. Like, this is how easy it was. And what now that does for me, guys, you know what it does? It helps me now go into the next week with more intention. It helps me go into the next week with more intention in terms of what I want to do and what can help me get better in those areas. And this is what I always tell people. Evaluations are so important, okay? Are so important. Do not let those things go over your head. I'm telling you from experience, these are things that have helped me incredibly. All right. They didn't allow the bad habits to continue. I was able to stop them the moment that they even became a thing. Right. The moment they were birthed, I killed them. That's it. This habit is not going to be a thing. And habits that were a part of me for a very long time, I started to become aware of them and I started to get rid of them by replacing them with better habits. So, not to talk too much on it, I know that I've talked about this in the past. Number one, evaluations are very, very key. Okay, that's number one. That's number one. This one is going to be very powerful for you guys. Number two, every character building day has a gift behind it. Okay, I want you guys to write that down. Every character building day has a gift behind it. Nano, what do you mean by that? Well, let's first talk about what a character building day is. You see, There's no such thing as bad days. This was something my mentor told me because I called him once. He like, man, I'm having a bad day. He said, you're having a what? I said, I'm having a bad day, coach. He said, you're not having a bad day. You're having a character building day. I like, what do you mean? He was like, there's no such thing as bad days. Remember, everything is perspective. Be careful with your words. If it's a bad day, you know who's having a bad day? Those kids that are struggling in other countries that have no food and have no clean water. That's a bad day. You don't have a bad day. You're having a character building day. Right? And I was like, explain that to me. He said, everything that is happening in your life, every challenge, every obstacle is there to help you build your character. You want to be successful, right? You want to make millions. You want to be able to do more for your family, right? The only way you're going to be able to do that is by helping you grow in your character. So the reason why I say that there's a gift in every character building day, because on June 19th, listen to this, on June 19th, 2019, that was the day before Mornings with Nano started. I started Mornings with Nano June 20th. So think about it. Right before I started Mornings with Nano, right before I started this amazing call right here, I had a character building day the day before. Now, I want you guys to listen to this, okay? I want you guys to listen to this really quick, because I'm going to read the journal entry to you guys. This is how it started. Proof. Here's the proof right here. June 19, 2019. Look at it right there. June 19, 2019. Look at this. Listen to this, please. Because the drama's in the details. Today has been a character building day so far, but I'm going to make a change once I'm done writing in this journal. You see, I attracted all these situations through my thoughts. So I need to change something ASAP. Accept what you're going through, Nano, and let's deal with it day by day. Understand that with every adversity comes a seed of opportunity. We will grow from this, bro. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Understand that this is the beginning of everything. You are blessed. Some people wished they had your problems. Don't let them overcome your dominating thoughts. Every time a problem comes to your head, accept it, love it, and tell yourself 3 positive things instead. Can't let other people throw their burdens on top of you. Focus on the positive in every situation. My breakthrough is coming. I know it is, and I can't wait to write about it in this journal. Stay strong, stay positive. You are a legend. Now, mind you guys, I wrote this down and I had no idea that the next day Mornings with Nano was going to start. There's a lot of, like, when I read that, I get chills. I literally get chills because I think about what was created after this journal entry. This is why I always tell people writing things down are so important. But I don't want you guys to just see what I wrote down. I want you guys to see how I accepted the adversity. I accepted the problem. I look at what I wrote down. Every time a problem comes to your head, accept it, love it, and tell yourself 3 positive things. Okay? So I'm sitting here and I'm reading this and I'm like, wow, I was accepting my problems, because remember, without a challenge, you can't grow. Look at what I wrote down. You are blessed, Nano. Some people wished they had your problems. I'm pretty sure that there's people in this world that would switch places with you so that you can have their problems and they can have yours. But the most beautiful part about this is this right here. Accept it. You need to change something. It was, I think what the most beautiful part about this was the accountability, if you think about it, right? You know, if you listen to the words, if you listen to what I'm saying, there is massive accountability here on my part as an individual, right? I want you guys to actually really listen to the accountability that I'm giving myself, because That is something that a lot of individuals sometimes don't do. They don't hold themselves accountable. Look, today has been a character building day so far, but I'm going to make a change once I'm done writing this journal, right? So think about it. I know that I'm having a bad day or a character building day. Let's call it what it is. I know I'm having a character building day, but once I'm done writing in this journal, I'm going to make a change. So I made that decision right there and then, like, yo, after I write in this journal, that's it. This character building day no longer exists. This is it. Look, listen to it. Listen to the next sentence. You see, I attracted all these situations that are happening to me through my thoughts. So I need to change something ASAP. I understood that everything that was happening in my life was because of me. You see that? Everything that was happening in my life, all the challenges, all the obstacles, everything, all the trials, all of it was happening because of Nano. I attracted all these situations through my thoughts. I understood that. Accept what you're going through and let's deal with it day by day, Nano. Understand that with every adversity comes a seed of opportunity. You will grow from this. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. I'm giving myself encouragement. This is the beautiful part about this. At the top of the next page, I wrote down, understand, Nano, that this is the beginning of everything. Now, mind you guys, I haven't started Mornings with Nano. I haven't even got the idea for Mornings with Nano yet. That same night, listen to this. That same night, I had a conversation with 3 of my leaders on the phone. That night, I jumped on a call late night. Can't remember the time or anything like that, but I know it was a late night call. And we jumped on a call that night because this is a morning routine ritual. So I know I wrote this in the morning. And that night, I jumped on a call with 3 of my leaders. And all I was doing on that call was connecting with them. Hey, what's up, guys? How's everything going? How's the business going? How's the learning process going? So on and so forth. And around that time, what had happened was I had already started doing my morning routine. So I was kind of like in this flow. I was in this vibration where I was feeling good. I was feeling blessed. You know, I was high energy. Everything was working in my favor. You know, it was feeling amazing, right? You know, yeah, I was still dealing with some challenges, but I was in a lot better vibration. And they told me, yo, bro, we see you doing these morning routines every day, bro. We see that your energy is shifting. Yo, why don't you wake up every morning and help us get our day started? That's how Mornings with Nano started. One of my leaders asked me, like, yo, why don't you wake up in the mornings and help us get our day started so that we can have a better day as we go along and teach us what you're learning in these books and stuff. And I'm like, you know, me being the yes man that I am, this is why sometimes being a yes man is cool, right? I said, yeah, bro, no problem. We start tomorrow. I was like, yo, what time would you think is better? You're like, I think you should do 9 a.m. I'm like, perfect, 9 a.m. it is. I know them we do them at 10 now, but back then they were at 9 a.m. And that was that same day. But when I read it, it brings so much peace to my heart because wait, look at what I wrote. Understand that this is the beginning of everything. You are blessed. Some people wish they had your problems. Guys, there's so many lessons in just this little journal entry. And then at the end, look, I wrote down, focus on the positive in every situation. My breakthrough is coming. I was living in the positive expectation that everything was already going to start working in my favor. Look, my breakthrough is coming. I know it is, and I can't wait to write about it in this journal. Stay strong, stay positive, Nano. You are a legend. Guys, look, I can show it to you. Look right here. My breakthrough is coming. I know it is. I can't wait to write about it in this journal. Stay strong, stay positive. You a legend. Look right here from my people on Instagram. I did it. It was there. You know what that tells you guys? Speak it. Start speaking it. Use me as an guys. I was broke writing these things. I was nowhere near where I wanted to be. But guess what? Next day, I start Mornings with Nano. And look, everything is documented. That's the good thing. Everything is documented. Let me see right here. Look at the next day. June 20th, 2019. Next day. Extremely grateful for the morning I just had. Today was the start of my Mornings with Nano Mastermind. It was a great success. Shared a lot of great information, and now I'm going to stay consistent with these calls. Thank you to my brother Masner for the idea. And to think that yesterday was a little bit of a character building day for me. Wow. Always focus on the now, Nano. Understand that what's going to happen is going to happen. It's what we do about what happens that will determine your future. I am going to stay consistent with these calls until they blow up. Then I'm going to offer the idea to become a part of, my mentorship program. I will be working daily on developing the skills to take everyone to the next level. Pray that more great ideas continue to flow into my head so I can continue to take action on them. Asking the right questions are the key to success. Look at how all of that happened, guys, overnight. I said I was going to do these calls until they blew up. And guess what? I did them until I kept my word. I kept my word. I kept my word. Yo, Maz, I was just talking about you, bro. I see that you just joined. My brother Maz, the guy that actually gave me the idea. Yo, I was just saying your name right now, bro. That's crazy that you joined the call. But it goes all the way back to that, and that's what I want all of you guys to understand, that sometimes you may be going through, and let me explain this to you before we move on to the next point. When we're going through stuff, it's important that we change our perspective, okay? Because even though I was going through it, did you guys realize what my perspective was during that? My perspective was accountability. It was love. It was accepting it. It was still understanding that I was expecting amazing things to happen for me. Pay attention. Like I said, guys, the drama's in the details. Notice how I was going through something, but I was still staying positive. I was staying strong. I was still doing my routine. I was still doing the little things. These are the things that make all the difference. Notice how I still had a positive expectation of everything still working out in my favor, even though look at how I was speaking. My breakthrough is coming. I know it is. Stay strong, stay positive. You a legend. Look at how I'm encouraging myself. I'm not putting myself down. I'm not saying, yo, Nano, I'm not, I'm disappointed in you, bro. You haven't. No, I'm encouraging myself. I'm not putting myself down. Pay attention, guys. It's so important, because guess what? I know that all of us, we either going through something right now, we're going to go through something, or we just got out of something. So we need to understand that when we're going through these times, we need to encourage ourselves. We need to speak highly to ourselves. We need to show faith. You need to believe in yourself. You know what I did there? I was showing faith. I was like, yo, even though I'm going through this, bro, I'm good. Literally, I finished off that journal entry by saying, you a legend. You know that Drake saying that he says, I was a legend before I thought I said I was? No, he said, I was a legend before I said I was, whatever. That's the perfect example of it. I was a legend before I even knew that I was. I was speaking it. I was putting it out there. And look, today people look at me and be like, yo, Nano, you're a legend. But I stayed faithful. I believe. Right? And Maz, look, bro, I'll read it again if you're still on this call. I'm giving them the idea of how Mornings with Nano started. But look, I was like, yo, extremely grateful for the morning I just had. Today was the start of the Mornings with Nano Mastermind. It was a great success. I shared a lot of great information. And now I'm going to stay consistent with these calls until they blow up. Thank you to my brother Masner for the idea, and to think that yesterday was a little bit of a character building day. Who would have ever thought? After one character, what did I say? Every adversity comes with a seed of opportunity. I was going through an adversity. My brother Masner threw me the opportunity. Hey, look, He gave me a seed of opportunity. What if I would have told Masner, nah, bro, I'm not with it. I'm not down to wake up at 9 a.m. and do the calls. You imagine that? You know what that makes me think about? Think about all the things that we might have said no to that probably could have changed our lives. That probably could have been the next big idea. That's what that right there made me think about. Like, damn, bro, what have I said no to in the past that may have been like a life-changing opportunity for me, and we'll never know now. Now I'll never know but it makes me grateful. This is why I understand, like, wow, opportunities are great, guys. And some people, sometimes we pass up on so many opportunities in our lifetimes. Trust me, fam. This is how it works. For those that don't know, like, think about it. I started with just an idea, and look, this week, if you guys don't know this, but on July 21st, I'm releasing season 4 for my podcast. The long-awaited season 4 is officially finished, and it's done. And promotion will start very, very soon. You guys know before the rest of the world does. But season 4 will be dropping on July 21st. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's all about. Okay, this is what it's all about. And that's what I said. Every adversity comes with a gift. Every problem comes with a gift. And that was number 2. Number 3, let's talk about this. You got to keep your word on the things that you write down. You got to stay true to your word. As you guys can see, I stayed true to my word. I said I was going to do these calls until they blew up. I said I was going to read these books. I said everything that I said I was going to do, they ended up happening, guys. They ended up happening. And look, I'm gonna keep. Look, it's funny because look, June 24th, Mornings with Nano was a success. I had 80 plus people on the call today. The goal is 100 by the end of the week. We sitting here, and 4 days in, the goal is to get to 100 people, and like, I remember when getting 100 people on the call was a lot, and now we all over the world, right? Now we get 100 people plus on a daily, now we get hundreds of people every single week. But I kept my word on everything I said I was going to do, guys. And I say that to you guys because, man, so many times we say we're going to do things and we don't do them. So many times. Yo, we're going to do this. You know how hard it was for me to keep my word on this? To be like, yo, I'm going to do these calls until they blow up. I had no idea what I was doing. Think about that. I had no idea. I was like, wait, all right, whatever. Like, I'm going to start these calls. I didn't know what I was going to talk about on these calls. I didn't have no training scheduled. I didn't have nothing, guys. Everything doesn't have to be perfect for you to start something. You figure it out as you go. Commit first and you figure the rest later. One of my biggest keys to my success. I teach that to all my students and all my leaders. Okay? Commit first and figure the rest out later. Figure it out later. Look, I committed first. All right, we start tomorrow, 9 a.m. And then the rest, what did I do? I started to figure it out as I went. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we think that everything needs to be ready and we need to have this and we need to have money and we need to have the right people and no, you just need to make the decision, right? Kevin Trudeau says, once a person makes a decision, God and the universe makes everything come in this. Well, what does he say? He says, once a person makes a decision, God and the universe does everything to put the right people, the right places, and all the right circumstances in that person's path to make the reality become real. And it's the truth. Once the person makes a decision, that's what God did. I made the decision. Okay, we're going to do Mornings with Nano until they blow up. I don't know how, but we're going to do them until they blow up. So what did God do? God put the right people. He put the right circumstances and all the right situations for the calls to blow up. People started to show up on the calls, right? A year later, I have a girl who jumps on Mornings with Nano. Her name is Jasmine Jones. She reaches out to me and she says, hey, Nano, I went to school for production. I would love for us to, record, your morning calls, and let's put them on a podcast so we can promote them on Spotify and be able to get a bigger reach. Remember, God is going to put the right people in your life, the right situations in your life, the right circumstances in your life. I didn't know Jasmine. Jasmine was somebody that got promoted mornings when I know somebody told her, hey, jump on these calls. Next thing you know, Jasmine is jumping on these calls. And next thing you know, she's on the calls and she's like, wait, I do production. This guy's good. Let's make a podcast out of it. Then she comes and she says, yo, I have all the equipment. I have everything. All you got to do is the same exact trainings that you're doing on Zoom. I want you to speak it into this mic right here. And she would literally come and sit at this exact same table right here. I would sit there. She would sit here. She would put the mic there. She would put her headphones on, and she'd be like, go, start, do a training. And that's how the podcast started. And now you could go on Spotify, you could go on podcasts, and you can find my podcast, guys. Look at this. Like I said, I don't share this with you guys so that you guys could be impressed by me. I say this because I stayed true to everything that I said I was going to do. And because I stayed true and because I had faith, even during the tough times, today I have a podcast. Look at this. Even to me, it's still crazy. Right? Look. If you guys haven't followed it, look. 4.9 stars, 1.6K reviews, right? 3 seasons, everything is there. And it still blows my mind that, look at this stuff, man. All these people. I want to see who gave me 1 star right here. I want to see who that was and what they said. I haven't even actually seen that. But look, all the amazing things that people said about me. And you know what? It started with an idea. It all started with an idea. It just started with my brother telling me, hey, you should start a morning call tomorrow. But I stayed committed to what I said I was going to do. What if I would have stopped after a week? What if I would have been like, yo, you know what, bro? What if I would have let the next challenge that I went through in my life stop me and be like, you know what? I'm not doing these calls anymore. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Stay committed to the things that you say you're going to do. Don't let the problems in your life stop you, guys. Imagine if I would have stopped 2 weeks later, a month later. None of this would have been happening right now. The podcast would have never happened. The 10K subscribers on YouTube would have never happened. I would have never got hired to be a mindset educator for $1 billion company. Guys, I did these calls for free. For literally 3.5 years, almost 4 years for free every day. And then after paying the price of 3.5 years for free, company came in and said, you know what, Nano? You've proven yourself. We know that you got it. We want to hire you as a mindset educator for our $1 billion company, bro. I'm from Washington Heights, guys. Look at where I grew up. I'm in a small 3-bedroom apartment here in Upper Manhattan. And I became a mindset educator for a $1 billion company. All because I kept my word. All because I stayed true to the things that I said I was going to do. That's all it is. Understanding these things is colossal information, guys. So, like I said, this is the 5-year journey. And I share this with you guys because these things are so valuable. Okay, so that's number 3. Put a 3 in the chat box if you guys getting value from this. I only could give you guys another couple of minutes because I gotta go drop this stuff off at the cleaners before 11:30. So I gotta go do this. So let's talk about the breakthrough moments. All right, I had a huge breakthrough. Now listen to this. Okay. Number 4, let's go over point number 4. Point number 4 is give up to go up. You got to give up to go up. Let me explain. July 6th, it was a Saturday and it was 10:10 p.m. I had my first ever aha moment. Okay. What is an aha moment, Nano? An aha moment is one of those moments where it all clicks. Okay. It all clicks. Everything clicks. Everything makes sense. It's like a door in your mind opens up and you get all the answers that you've been looking for. Okay. Now, look at this right here. I wrote 21 pages. Now, what ended up happening was, listen to this, just so you guys, I'm going to give you the cliff notes. I went to the beach. I was at the beach, and I was in Laguna Beach, California during this time. And I was reading the book, The Four Agreements. This is why I always tell people The Four Agreements is one of my all-time favorite books. And I was reading The Four Agreements, and I was reading, if I'm not mistaken, the third agreement, which is don't make assumptions. Okay. Now, I'm reading the book, and I finished reading the chapter. I meditate, I do things, I journal and everything, right? But the thing was, there was something about that chapter that hit me. And I realized that I was making a lot of assumptions within my business. And I'm making all these assumptions. Bang, 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 bang. And out of nowhere, on the drive home, it was like something just clicked inside of me. It was like it was like one thought led to the next thought, and it was like out of nowhere, a door opened in my mind, and it was like, Nano, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. You got to put this person in position. You got to put this, you got to create this system. And basically, I text my mentor, and I said, yo, I'm having my first ever aha moment. He said, where are you? I was like, I'm in the car on my way home. He said, the moment you get home, grab your journal and start writing, and don't stop until it's done. So I start writing the moment I get home. Boom, boom, boom. And I just let it all go on paper. And I wish I could sit down and let you guys know everything. And I'm going to read it again later. But basically, it gave me the whole game plan of what I needed to do to go make six figures. That happened on July 6th. I wrote this down on July 6th. July 6th, I was only making $2,000 a month. That game plan that was given to me on that day, 2 months later, on October 1st, I became a six-figure earner. I went from making $2,000 a month to making $12,000 a month. Now, why do I say give up to go up? Because when I was done writing it, okay, when I was done writing it, he texted me, he said, yo, what did you give up to let this happen? What did you give up to let this happen? And these are the things I wrote down. I want you guys to write this down. Look at the things that I had to give up for those things to happen. I left my environment in New York City. I gave up sleep. I gave up time and friends. I gave up time away from my friends and family. I gave up money, and I gave up my comfort zone. Okay. Number 4 is give up to go up. Number 3 is stay true to your word. Think about that. I gave up my environment. I gave up sleep. I gave up time away from my friends and family. I gave up money, and I gave up my comfort zone. Can you guys relate? Anybody on this call relate real quick? Put a 2 if you guys can relate. Knowing that you got to give this up low key. This is what you got to give up. Think about it. That's what I gave up. And 2 months later, I became a six-figure earner. Just to throw it out there. You guys wondering, well, Nano, how did you do it? What did you give up? What was number 1? Number 1 was evaluation. Evaluate yourself. Weekly evaluations. That's what I gave up. I gave up my environment. I gave up sleep. Why did I give up sleep? Because I was waking up early. I don't know if giving up sleep is worth it. And that's okay. If you value your sleep more than the life that you want to live, then, that's absolutely fine. It's a temporary sacrifice. Remember, I'm not telling you to give up sleep forever, but it was a sacrifice I had to make during that time because I wanted to be up earlier than everybody. I was the person that loved to wake up at 9, 10 a.m. late, but majority of my day was done. I like, yo, if I wanna really get myself to the next level, I'm gonna wake up earlier before everybody else. I'm gonna wake up 5, 6 a.m. That's why I was giving up sleep. I gave up time away from my friends and family. I gave up money. And what I mean by give up money was I was investing money. I was investing money into books. I was investing money into courses. I was investing money into mentorship. And then most importantly, I also had to give up my comfort zone. Those 5 things right there might be the same things that you got to give up on this call for you to get to the next level in your life. You're going to have to give up your environment. You're going to have to give up some sleep. Not forever, but some sleep. You're going to have to give up time away from friends and family, unfortunately. You're going to have to give up some money. You're going to have to give up your comfort zone. Man, I should do a training on that. Now that I think about it, the 5 things I gave up to become a 6-figure earner. That's a fire training in itself right there. What are the 5 things Nano gave up to become a 6-figure earner? You got to give up to go up. That's so beautiful. 21 pages. And then look, I just practiced a bunch of gratitude after that. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. This is beautiful, man. I'm gonna sit down and read a lot of this journal today. I'm gonna read a lot of this journal today because I want to look back and see it. So that was number 4, give up to go up. And then last but not least, number 5 is document the journey. Documentation beats conversation. Documentation beats conversation, familia. And that is the reality of the situation. Document it. It's here. Had I not documented it, I wouldn't have been able to look back and realize what I had to give up to go up. Document it. Documentation is going to be conversation. All right, family. So those are the 5 things that I really learned during these 5. And I'm sure I could find more. But those were the 5 things that, after reading a couple of the pages and kind of like organizing it, those were the 5 things that really stood out to me right there. Document your journey, guys. Go buy a journal. As a matter of fact, this Prime Day on Amazon today. Go on Amazon. Let me see if they have them on sale. I don't know if you guys know about Prime Day, but Prime Day is lit on Amazon. Let's see. Are they? So, oh yeah, they are. Look, they are on sale. Let me show you. Look at this. Just in case you guys want to go buy the journal that I buy, this is it right here. This is the journal. It's called Moonster. Moonster Leather Journals. They kind of give you that old school feel. This is the one I usually, oh, look, they have it on sale, $17. This is the first journal I ever had right here. This one. And I always recommend the 8x6. You could do it lined or unlined. I usually did it unlined, but if you want to do it lined, that's also fine. Get the 8x6. The 7x5 is too small. Get the bigger one. This is the best one right here. And like I said, my goal in life eventually is to, have a library of those for my books. You've been making those people money. I know they need to sponsor me. I've tried, but they haven't really reached out to me about it, to be real. But we'll see. Maybe one day. Maybe one day they will. But yeah, guys, that's really it. Document the journey. These things are really going to help you guys out and really help you guys elevate in ways that you guys can never imagine, right? Like I said, number 1, it's most important is the evaluation, okay? Number 2 is every adversity comes with a gift. Number 3, stay true to your word. Stay true to your word no matter what, guys, because staying true to your word is everything. Number 4 is give up to go up. And number 5 is documentation beats conversation. I could have came on this call and told you guys all these things, but guess what? I have it all documented. I have it all documented, right? The name of the journal is called Moon, like Moon, Stir, Ster, Moonster Journals. Get the 8x6, the bigger ones. You'll see them. All right, guys. So if you guys got value from today's call, 555s. I gotta hurry up and get to the cleaners before they don't let me do my clothing by Thursday. I need my clothes back by Thursday. So, guys, with that being said, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. I apologize about the little bit of a darkness, but at the end of the day, the value was the most important part about today's call. So thank you guys again for jumping on. Those were a little bit of a couple of keys that you guys could learn from my 5-year journey from when it all started here in this exact same seat and where we are today. All right. So I'm going to do a quick prayer for us and then we're going to wrap it up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, like this video, leave a comment below, share this with a friend, share this with a family member. I am very, very thankful for all of you guys. Remember, season 4 for the Mornings with Nano podcast releases July 21st, this Sunday. Let's keep growing. Let's keep elevating. Quick prayer, and then we'll wrap it up. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your grace and your abundance. Today just feels amazing. Today feels magical. And the fact is, we learned so much from the journey that started with me 5 years ago. And we want to let you know, Father, that we're grateful for all the lessons. We are grateful for all the amazing things that you continue to teach us. But we know most importantly that our breakthrough is here. It's not coming. It's here. And for everybody that's dealing with any character building days, for anybody that's going through a tough time right now, their breakthrough is here. Allow them to open their hands to receive that because they have you right in their corner. And there's nothing better than keeping the faith in the times of challenge, Father. We are so blessed to have you in our corner. No weapon formed against us will prosper. And we just know that for a fact that everything will work in our favor. So we love you so much, Father. We thank you for everything ahead of time. Let's go out there and have a productive day. In God's name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right, guys. So with that being said, your breakthrough isn't coming, guys. Your breakthrough is here. All right. Your breakthrough is here. All right, guys. So I love you all. I appreciate you guys all. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days. And I will see you guys again on YouTube on Thursday for another episode of Mornings with Nano YouTube edition. God bless you guys and enjoy the rest of your day.